What's going on YouTube? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps that I take to get a dirty guitar cleaned up and back into playing shape. I'm going to be using a kit from Dunlop called System 65 that pretty much includes everything you'll need to get the frets polished, the guitar cleaned up, and get the fretboard conditioned. I'll be sure to drop some affiliate links down in the description to all the products I use in the videos if you want to check them out. Just keep in mind, I may earn a small commission from that. Now let's dive in. This will give you an idea of exactly how dirty this thrift store guitar is. So let's get the strings off and I'll go over the products that I'm going to be using on it today. So this kit comes with two microfiber cloths. It comes with a polishing pad for your frets, which is roughly 8,000 grit. You get the number 65 carnauba. It's a cream of carnauba, which is basically just a wax. You get the 65 cleaner and polisher, which is pretty much an everyday cleaner. You get the string cleaner, which we will not be using. You get the 01 fretboard cleaner and prep, and the 02 deep conditioner for your fretboard. Alright, so we're going to start off by taping the fretboard so that we can polish the frets. You just want to use the typical blue painter's tape to do this, and it's really simple. It takes under 10 minutes, and this will prevent you from scratching your fretboard when you're polishing the frets. You know, I've looked around a lot of other videos, and I've seen comments where folks have actually scratched the fretboard, so I think it's wise and advisable to tape the fretboard, and it only takes, like I said, really under 10 minutes to do. Alright, so we're going to start with the polishing cloth. All you've got to do is take a little bit of pressure and apply it over the fret wire, and you'll see it'll polish right up. It'll get to a nice shine. This really isn't very difficult to do. You'll see it's pretty easy. You just move on fret to fret. You know, again, the process doesn't take long, and if you've taped the fretboard, you don't have to worry about scratching it. If you didn't tape it, you need to be very careful here that that cloth is not rubbing up against the fretboard. It's kind of hard to tell from here, but they're pretty polished up. I'll put up a before and after photo over this to give you a better idea of how this looks. But it definitely makes a difference, and it's certainly worth the time and effort. So we're going to go ahead and remove the tape now and get into step one with the cleaner. Alright, so this is the 01 fingerboard cleaner and prep. It's fairly simple to use. You just want to shake it well. And from there, you're going to get the yellow Dunlop rag that was included with the kit. And we're going to put just, a few sprays onto the cleaner. You don't want to apply it directly to the fretboard. Spray it onto the rag. And then from there, you're just going to start working it in over the fretboard. What's really important here is that you're getting all of the dust, dirt, and grime off before we can move on to the next step. And then again, you just want to work this over the fretboard and even the frets to make sure that there's no dirt or dust or any type of residue left on the fingerboard. And then we're going to move on to the next step, which is conditioning the fretboard. So here you can already see the cleaner has done a fantastic job of getting all of the dirt and grime off of the fretboard. So this is the 02 deep conditioner. You're going to get the second rag that came with the kit. We're going to start with a clean rag. You'll be using that to wipe off the excess. When you use this for the first time, you're going to have to use your finger to break the seal that's underneath there, and you'll hear it crack when you do. And then from there, you're going to need to shake it really well. You want to start by applying a thin coat. You do not want to squeeze the bottle. It tells you right on the side, do not squeeze the bottle. So you're just going to apply a thin coat to the fretboard, and from there, we'll end up wiping the excess off when finished. Alright, so with the thin coat applied, we're going to go ahead and let it sit for a few minutes. All we're going to do from here is just wipe off the excess oil. You may have to go over the fretboard a couple of times to get it all off, but that's pretty typical. So you can see this fretboard cleaned up quite nicely. So now it's pretty much time to move on to cleaning the body of this guitar and the headstock and then get some strings on her. So we're going to start with the number 65 guitar polishing cleaner just to get the dust off. From there, we will use the carnauba to give it a good lasting wax. With this sort of thing, you want to use a clean microfiber towel. We're just going to spray a little bit onto a corner. A little bit goes a long way. Right on the corner of the towel. You don't want to spray on the guitar body itself. So that's a pretty good start. to get that first layer of dirt off. And from there, we're gonna try the wax and see if we can get that carnauba to buff it out a little bit more. Let's give it a shot. All right, so now we're moving on to the number 65 body gloss. It's basically like a carnauba wax. It's a cream of carnauba. It seems to be on the lighter side from some of the automotive stuff that I've used in the past. So I'm going to put about a dime-sized portion onto the rag and just kind of work it over the surface of the guitar. I'm going to work in circular motions where I can on the larger spots of the body, but you just want to make sure you're covering the surface of the body with it. All right, so after you have the surface covered, you want to let this dry for 30 seconds to a minute, and then from there we will buff it out. You're going to use the clean part of the cloth to buff as much as you can to get as best of a shine as you can at this point, and we want to make sure we get all of the wax off of the guitar. We're actually able to get a pretty good shine on this guitar. However, this guitar does have its fair share of surface scratches, which this wax is simply not going to fix. So this guitar came out really, really good. It's super clean. The fretboard came out really nice. It's really an awesome guitar for a beginner. I think this guitar was purchased like 10 years ago for like $70. So it's a fantastic buy for someone who's looking to learn an instrument. And that's exactly who the guitar is going to. So a few before and after pics here, you can see how dirty it was and how well this stuff cleaned it up. Like I said, the surface scratches kind of are what they are. You would have to really get into a much heavier wax and a buffing wheel to even try to get some of those out. But all in all, I'm very happy with the way that this guitar turned out. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and sub the channel. I hope you guys found it informative. This is kind of the way that I always approach cleaning up a dirty, grimy guitar. I really like the Dunlop system, and I find it to be very effective and strong enough to get the job done without risking damaging the guitar. If you have any questions, by all means, leave them in the comments, as I do try to answer all of the comments that come through on the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.